What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Show the friend and show the friend. Let's get into some real talk. Y'all know I'm in Africa, I'm in Egypt, I'm in Cairo, saw the pyramids, all that stuff with the fam. It has been a glorious vacation, but at Real Talk, we keep it real and we don't take days off. We're going to talk about the Eagles, the Sixers, and there's been some general NBA topics that I want to touch on in this episode as well. First things first, the Philadelphia Eagles. It warms my heart. Man. It warms my heart that Jalen Hurts is being recognized for having a top 10 quarterback season of all time. It's about damn time. It is about damn time. And ultimately, bro, when LeBron, when the Miami Heat won, and he said, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. And if we're being honest, Jalen Hurts should have won MVP that year. The only reason why he did not win MVP is because he played 15 games and Patrick Mahomes played all 17 games. So Patrick Mahomes had better stats. But Hurts, if he played all those games, would have won MVP. And Jalen Hurts literally outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He definitely deserves to get recognized with having a top 10 quarterback season of all time. And it's funny to me that guys like Burrow and Allen and Herbert, Lamar is actually rated lower than Hurts in this list. It's funny to me that all of these guys that you prop up and saying they're better, they got better stats, all this stuff, they aren't recognized with having a top 10 quarterback season of all time. Jalen Hurts that season was surgical. 22 passing touchdowns. He had 22 passing touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and over 100 passer rating, 3,700 passing yards. All of y'all saying Hurts has never had a 4K passing yard season. Look, bruh, if he wasn't injured, he would have been past that, John, bro, while completing 66.5% of his passes. And not to mention, rushing the ball, he rushed for 760 yards and complemented that with 13 rushing touchdowns, bro. He was amazing. And what happened in the Super Bowl? It was one of the best performances of all time. He had over 300 passing yards, a rushing record in the bowl, 70 rushing yards, and 4 combined touchdowns. He was amazing, and I expect that Jalen Hurts to come back in the 2025 season. You can bet it, you can bank on it, and I'm going to say it again. I will say it again. Jalen Hurts will have a 4K passing yard season come this year. All right. I've also been hearing this wild take. This wild take. Somebody told me that Jalen Hurts does nothing better than Lamar Jackson in football. Let me just enlighten you real quick. There are multiple things Jalen Hurts does better than Lamar Jackson. Number one, he has a better deep ball. Honestly, he got the best deep ball in the league. I'm trying to figure out who got a better one than Jalen freaking Hurts. His deep ball is insane. What did they say? For the dagger, Smitty, huh. Okay. He's better pre-snap. He is better pre-snap. And I think with the absence of Jason Kelsey, we were able to see how surgical, how elite Jalen Hurts is pre-snap, and we saw that on the biggest stage when he flat out dissected and literally decimated Steve Spagnuolo, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, his defense. It was amazing to see. We all know Hurts is more clutch than Lamar Jackson. That's not even a debate. He's a better playoff riser than Lamar Jackson. He's less turnover prone in the playoffs, and he's a more effective red zone threat. All of those are facts. All of those you just can't really argue with. Now, I'll give Lamar Jackson having, he's better post snap. He's a better rusher to football. He's more accurate in the intermediate short game. But again, game for my life, who am I picking? It's gonna be Jalen Hurts every single day over Lamar Jackson. And I don't think it's close for me because I saw what Jalen Hurts has done in the big moments. Now, there has also been talk, and I love this because it's off season, so we get to just pop it. And I'm going to talk about the reason why myself and other Eagles fans are popping it so much. There's also been talk that I heard that the Eagles and Jalen Hurts benefit because they're in the NFC. The stats don't support that. The stats say they would actually be better in the AFC. I mean, over the last 3 years, the Eagles have a 14-1 record against the AFC. Ironically, their only loss is to Zach Wilson and the Jets, a fluke game. But in terms of games that against great quarterbacks, against elite quarterbacks, against great teams, the Eagles have got the job done time and time again. But Jalen Hurts in those 15 games has 40 touchdowns, 13 turnovers, 273 yards per game, and over 106 passer rating. That is amazing. And you talk about the Super Bowl, he's combined for 525 passing yards, 142 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, a 109 passer rating. So actually, we should flip it. The Eagles are in the harder the Eagles are in the harder conference for them. Honestly, bro, the Eagles might actually fare well being in the AFC, bro. So how about you flip that argument? The stats support the Eagles being better against the AFC teams. We talk about how Lamar Jackson against the NFC, he is surgical, he is amazing. He has flatly dominated the NFC. Only the Giants and the Eagles have beat him. I believe he's like 24-2 against the NFC. He's amazing as NFC. But in that same breath, they talk about Lamar Jackson being amazing, being dominant against the NFC. Talk about how Jalen Hurts and the Eagles have been dominant against the AFC. And now I've been popping at this episode, but let me just break this down real quick. I don't want anybody from Philly, any Eagles fan, being gaslighted to feel like I can't pop it during this offseason. No. Eagles fans, Philly sports fans deserve to pop it after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You think after y'all clowned us for losing against the Chiefs, after you clowned James Bradbury, after you clowned the defensive line for not getting a sack, after you clowned all of our coaches, all of our players, our GM, the whole city, that we weren't going to pop it when we win, you're tripping, bro. And the Sixers are ass. The Phillies fold in the big moments. The Flyers are trash. The Union are nice, but nobody watches soccer. And the last time they were in that championship game, Gareth Bale sent us home. But look, bro, given all of that, I'll be damned if y'all try to tell me, oh, you can't be high, you can't be popping it because the Eagles won. No, we're gonna drag, we're gonna pop it, and best believe you're gonna hate us if the birds go back to back. You're gonna hate us, bro. You really is gonna hate us, but that's what it is. I love it, bro. And we're gonna continue to pop it, and that's what we should do. Now I'm gonna talk about the whole NFC East. The NFC East could become the most competitive division in the NFC next season. And this is the nicest thing I'm going to say about the Commanders and the Cowboys. The Commanders, they went ahead out here and had a really good offseason. Got Laremy Tunsil. You got Debo. Maybe he has something to prove, but they should at least be on par with what they did last regular season. The Cowboys damn near hit rock bottom last season. So the only way is up. The only way is up because they were so trash. And Dak Prescott, he's got some help now. I don't want to hear any excuses. The Cowboys should be better. So between the Commanders and the Cowboys, at the very least, either team should get 9 to 8 games at the very least, bruh. And the Giants, they have a really, really hard schedule, but I think they'll be competitive in games. They're still going to lose, you know, around like 14, 13 games because of how hard their schedule is, but they're going to be competitive. But in the NFC, there isn't a division that has three teams that you can really bank on them either making the playoffs or potentially getting that wild card spot. I'm looking at this and I'm saying the NFC North, I'll give you the Lions and I'll give you the Packers. I don't trust JJ McCarthy and I don't trust the Bears. I got to see it. They aren't proven at all. The NFC South, the Buccaneers, all right, I'll give you that. Outside that, the Falcons, I don't trust them. The Panthers, I don't trust them. The Saints, I don't trust them. And the NFC South, all it is the Rams and the 49ers. So ultimately, I think the NFC East is going to be the most competitive division in the NFC. And I cannot wait for the Eagles to kind of like break that curse of NFC East teams that don't go back to back. But I believe that this is the year that the Eagles go out here and go back to back in the NFC East. And back to the Cowboys and Commanders, I would not be surprised. This is probably the most highest take I had in the last couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys have a better record than the Commanders because the Commanders are going to have a harder schedule, right? Teams are going to be hyper focused on Jaden Daniels and they're going to be hyper focused on Jaden Daniels and trying to stop what he's great at, just like how with CJ Stroud, he took a little bit of like a step back last season, right? But with the Cowboys, it's not that much pressure. Nobody's expecting y'all to do anything. It's not like you have the Super Bowl contender expectations. I would say that the Cowboys have a better record next season than the Commanders. But if that happens, that just makes the NFC East more competitive because I believe the Commanders are still going to be good and still compete for that playoff spot. Now let's get to the NBA, the Sixers, real quick. It has been reported that Joel Embiid still is not ready for on court activities. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I think it's the end. I think it's the end. I think it's the official end of the Joel Embiid era in Philly. You had Daryl Morey saying, hopefully Joel Embiid comes back next season. Hopefully, what you mean? Cuz barely played last season. When he played for the Olympics months prior. What you mean, hopefully? He had surgery months ago, and you're saying there's optimism he'll be there for the first game of the season? What the? It should be a guarantee. So the fact that it's even up in the air, the same way how all last season it was up in the air. Is Joel Embiid going to play back-to-backs? Is Joel Embiid going to play X amount of games? All this is telling me is Joel Embiid at his peak was one of the best players of all time. But the injuries simply derailed an all-time great career. And it's sad. That's why 2024, after the Knicks series, I was saying trade Joel Embiid. Take the emotion out of it, trade this guy because his value is never going to be higher. And I was called, hey, stick to the Eagles, stick to football. I'm just trying to keep it a beam, bro. It's over, cuz. Now it's a situation where it's like, all right, Embiid, got Paul George. The way that this Sixers roster is constructed, they're going to have to rely on Joel Embiid and Paul George to be healthy. And I frankly can't rely on that with their history, bro. So I'm afraid that this is the end of the trust the process era. Some could argue that it already did end, but I think with now there's still being doubt on whether or not Joel Embiid will return to the court after all this time. We have to just keep it a bean, keep it real, and just say It was a nice run. There was some good memories. I will remember Joel Embiid scoring 70 points on Victor Wembanyama's head. I'll remember Joel Embiid outplaying Nikola Jokic multiple times in his building, in Joel Embiid's building. But all good things must come to an end. And now we are at that point that it is the end. It's sad. But at least we got the Eagles, though. We got the Eagles, though. So shoot. Again, that's why we go out here and we just pop it with the Eagles, because look, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Flyers, we gotta hold on to something. Gotta hold on to something. I got last two topics, bruh. Talk about the Eastern Conference. Celtics fans are really being hypocrites, because they are the same people that will say Tatum is the best player in the league, he's top 3, he's top 5, and will still say, I have us going to the finals with Tatum being out for most of the year. You cannot have it both ways. If you think Tatum is a top 3 player, a top 5 player, then if he's out for most of the year, you're not going to be competitive on the same level you were with him. What's so hard to understand? And if you do think you're getting to the finals without Jason Tatum because the East is so weak, I'm sorry, bro. Then you don't really think Tatum is that impactful, because there's no situation where a top 5 player is missing for most of the season due to injury and his team stays afloat, and can make a run in going to the finals. That's cap. The Nuggets would not make the playoffs. The Bucks would be a lottery team. The Thunder might not make the playoffs, or at the very least, they might make the play-in. The Warriors with Steph, they would not make the playoffs. The Lakers and Luka, they would not make the playoffs. If you're a top 5 player and you are not playing for your team for majority of the time, your team's going to take a hit. Now, I believe that Tatum is a top 7 player, top 7, top 6. I have enough respect for him to say that without him, the Celtics are not going to be a contender in the East. I am not looking at Anthony Simons and saying he's changing life when it's his 8th season in the league and he hasn't done much. And don't give me the Portland Trailblazers excuse, bro. I'm sorry, because if you're that guy, you at least get that team to the play-in. You at least get that team to the playoffs, bro. Come on, dog. And with Jalen Brown is not a top 10 player. So what are we talking about? He's top 15, top 20. You don't have a top 15, top 20 player lead his team to the finals. You don't have that. He's got to be top 10. He's got to. But they want to, again, have both. Have both that Tatum is an amazing player, top 5, top 3 guy, but also the Celtics are going to be great. You cannot have it both ways. Well, what are we talking about? At best case scenario, if everybody is healthy, the Celtics will be a 5th seed, which is still really, really good, but a 5th seed that gets bounced out in the first round. Or maybe wins the first round in like 7 games and then gets flat out dominated in the second round. But you're not making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're not making it to the finals without Tatum. Or with Tatum not being 100%. Like, we got to stop this stuff, bro. And y'all put this on Tatum. You cannot have these expectations for the Celtics to say, well, Tatum's going to come back in February. He'll be nice. And then you put more pressure on him. Just relax. This is a down year for y'all. It is a down year for the Celtics, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, bro. Your best player's out. Dang, Celtics fans be pissing me off, bro. If Jalen Hurts tears his Achilles and is out for most of the year, I'm not going to be out here saying the Eagles are going to be good. I'm going to be saying we're screwed. It's a down year. And nothing wrong with that. All right. My last point, and this is going to be like a historical kind of take on KD and the Warriors. The notion that the Warriors needed KD is blasphemous. It's revisionist history. First off, it's already debunked because the Warriors won in 2022. They won already without him after he left. So the notion that, well, the Warriors needed KD to beat LeBron and Kyrie, when the Warriors took LeBron and Kyrie to game 7, and if it wasn't for Steph turning over the ball, if it wasn't for mental errors on their part, maybe they win that game. But I feel like they just didn't want competition. They brought in KD to be like, let's not even have it be a debate. Like, we're going to flat out wipe out the competition, which is cool. But let's not turn it and act like, well, they needed KD to beat LeBron James and all these guys. No, they didn't. They just needed KD to make it without a doubt they'll win. But they still could have won without KD. It just would have been competitive. And KD going to the Warriors ruined the best rivalry in my lifetime. That the Cavs and the Warriors rivalry, it was amazing, bruh. It was amazing. It was flat out box office, bro. And KD coming there ruined it. It ruined it. And it's not a knock on KD. It's showing how great he is. If you have him join a 73-win team, they're gonna be unbeatable. This is not like Kelly Oubre, Harrison Barnes joining the team. No disrespect. We're talking about Kevin Durant, a top 15 player of all time. Yeah, they're gonna be unbeatable. So let's stop this revisionist history. Oh, well, they needed KD to win. No, they needed KD to be unbeatable. But they could have beat LeBron and Kyrie if Steph played better and if Clay played and if Clay played better in those clutch moments. I love y'all. Nice little episode. I got amped up. I'm gonna edit this in the by the poolside. And it's gonna be a great job. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is Real Talk with MJ, where I know I always keep it real. I'm out, y'all.